All right, joining me now is our good friend, wide receiver for Georgia Tech, Chase Lane. Great to have you in studio again.
Great to be back.
And great to be back here. Another win for you guys. This time Thursday night over NC State. You guys are perfect at Bobby Dodd this year. How awesome was it to close that out at Bobby Dodd?
It means a lot. Just coming into the season, we had a mission to go undefeated at home, and to be able to do that and to take care of business like we did. It got a little shaky at the end.
Yep.
If you were able to catch the game, but to be able to close it out at home, my final game in Bobby Dodd, it meant a lot.
It's your final game in college football loading this next week. You've played college football for 6 years. I'm sure the emotions are kind of all over the place for you.
Yeah.
What's the thought process around your last college football game?
Really just the thought process it's been all year is just to embrace everything, just take it a day at a time, enjoy the journey with my teammates, with these coaches. The time I've had at Tech and just in Atlanta has been amazing, nothing short of amazing. So just taking it all in, and my first time playing in Sanford Stadium, it's going to be a night game, so really looking forward to that and just going into one last regular season game before we go to the bowl game.
Yep, I was going to say you're going to get some postseason action in there as well, which I know Brent Key and you guys are very fired up about, but you mentioned Sanford Stadium. You were limited in the game last year when it was at Bobby Dodd. Now you get to play under the lights at Sanford Stadium between the hedges. That's going to be an insane atmosphere. Right. I know you're excited about it. What do you anticipate about what that atmosphere is going to be like?
Kind of similar. I came from the SEC, spent time 4 years at Texas A&M, so I had my fair share of going to play in hostile environments. South Carolina, LSU, played in Bryant-Denny down in Tuscaloosa. So I'm expecting something similar to that, just watching games on when I have off games or when we're done playing, just being able to see just the hostile environment that Sanford Stadium creates. But it's a great challenge for us, and really looking forward to that this experience.
How ready is your team for this game?
I think saying we are very ready would be an understatement. This is something that we talk about all season long, just going undefeated at home and, winning a state championship and winning an ACC championship. And, although the ACC championship is out the picture, the chance to win a state championship is very much alive and well. And we're really looking forward to that.
I love that you call it a state championship. It's clean old-fashioned hate to everyone, Georgia and Georgia Tech involved, but the state championship, is that what Brent Key calls it?
Yeah, so ever since he got the job, from his opening presser was just, competing for ACC championships and winning a state championship. So it's kind of cool with, like I kind of said 2 weeks ago when I came on the show, was just having a coach that played for Tech. Just he really gets that rivalry and he really instills that rivalry and that hatred towards a team down the road. So
you mentioned it a little earlier. You're a Texas guy. You transfer in from Texas A&M. It's not like this rivalry is embedded in your DNA like it is Brent Key, like you just mentioned, your head coach, but you understand how important this rivalry is.
For sure.
How quickly did you understand that this game means a lot?
Really my first day on campus. When I got here in the summer of 2023, that's just the one thing that really gets talked about on a daily basis, on a consistent basis in our facility, in our program. So, coming from Texas A&M, the rivalry we like to harp on is the rivalry against UT. And, they got a big game next week as well. So just coming down here, I really caught on very quickly how much that rivalry means, not only to Coach Key, but to Georgia Tech.
You guys have started dissecting the film for Georgia. It's early in that process, but what do you notice about Georgia's defense? They're
an aggressive unit. I feel like there's a lot of areas where they're really good. That front seven, they create a lot of problems. So if we're going to be able to run the ball, we really have to dial in on our one-on-one matchups up front. Out on the perimeter, they're really skilled defensive backs, and we're going to have to win our one-on-one matchups if we want to be successful on Friday.
Let's talk about your offense for a second. 2 weeks ago, we talked about the guy that threw you this touchdown, Aaron Philo. He was fantastic against NC State. How much do you feel like he took a step forward, not only in confidence, but his play?
A major step, and just NC State, they scored late with like a minute and 30 seconds left, I think, and we had to go out and get a touchdown to win the game, and it was just the poise that he went out there with was something that you don't really see in younger guys, and a true freshman at that, a kid who just turned 18 years old, but he's the leading yards leader in the state of Georgia for a reason, and so he went out there and he put his full talent on display.
What is going to have to be the challenge that you guys are successful with at night at Sanford Stadium to get that win over Georgia?
Poise, and just going into that stadium in that rocky environment with the confidence in ourselves and the game plan, the trust in our coaches, the coaches trust in the players, and it's going to take a total team effort, as we know. Playing our third top 10 opponent or top 15 opponent this season, But it's going to take a full team effort. We know it's going to take full 4 quarters or however long it may take to win this game, but I think we're really up for the challenge.
You guys can do it. You took down an undefeated Miami team earlier this season. You guys are ready. We'll see what happens between the hedges.